There's a lot of videos on YouTube that talk about real estate, some by licensed professionals and others that don't even live in the states they're talking about. But facts and figures traditionally don't lie.
That being said, let's jump right into the Greater Phoenix area September 2023 real estate market snapshot. Starting with new inventory. In August, we saw just around 6,600 homes, which, compared to the month prior, July, there was 6,200 homes. Not that big of a fluctuation there, and pretty much expected. Looking back at last year, August 2022, there was just about 9,500 homes. So definitely a decrease in inventory, which is explainable with the numbers coming up next. Directly following new inventory, we have active listings. Last month, just under 12,000. The month prior, right around 11,400. Last year, we had just under 19,000. So, much like the last couple of months with new inventory, we're seeing an increase, but nothing compared to what we had last year. Like I mentioned, the numbers are starting to paint a picture for us, and we see that the market is holding steady when it comes to new inventory and active listings for the last couple of months. But if we look backwards, as they say, hindsight is 2020, we definitely see a substantial decrease in the amount of homes being put on the market and homes that are on the market.
Either way, my name is Shawn Rogers, the lead of the Mr. Rogers Homes real estate team, and we make videos all about living in Arizona, just like this one. If you're interested in learning more, please click the subscribe button.
This next piece of information is a golden nugget. Well, at least to me. Number of closings. Last month, just under 6,100. The month prior, right around 5,400. And last year, we were plus or minus 5,750, give or take a few properties. When we don't have as many houses coming on the market, new inventory, and we don't have property staying on the market, active listings, the number of closings should be increasing, as they are. I hope this makes sense to you. If it doesn't, please reach out. I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions. This one's a crowd favorite, and by crowd favorite, I mean popular by both buyers and sellers, which traditionally doesn't happen that often in the realm of real estate. Average sales price. Last month, just under $554,000. The month prior, right around $556,000, and ironically, 12 months prior, $556,000 again. By the numbers over the last 12 months, prices for homes in the Greater Phoenix area have remained about the same. So, steady the course is never a bad thing. Are sellers in a good position? Currently, they're still about where they were. Are buyers in a good position? Well, in my humble opinion, inventory is a bit lower and interest rates are a bit higher. I'll talk about them. Again, not being a lender, but being a professional in the field, I'll add my 2 cents. So stay tuned, that's coming up next.
Hope you're enjoying the video thus far. If you are, please click like, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Oh, if you're thinking about buying and or selling, perhaps relocating to Arizona, make sure you get your free guides. They are unbelievable. Interest rates. For the longest time, they were at historic lows. Now they have doubled, tripled, and in some cases quadrupled. That has caused most any savvy buyer to pump the brakes and take a good look at what their buying power is now based on what it was then. Thus, they're not rushing out spending money on something that may or may not fit their budgets. That's a good thing. Nobody should be pushed or pressured into buying a property, a home, where they just don't think the numbers are going to work.
As I mentioned, I'm no lender. On that note, if you need a lender, we work with some of the best in the Valley of the Sun. So reach out. I'll make the connection for you. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. On to the next statistic. Sold to list price ratio. In the common tongue, when we list a property for sale for X number. How close to X do we get? Last month, we were right around 98%. Ironically, the month before, right around 98%, just a tick over. And last year, right around 97.5%. So, as we can see, over the course of the last 12 months, the sold to list price ratio has remained about the same. If we listed a property for roughly $100,000, we can assume when all the dust settles, the seller would have obtained about 97 to 98% of their asking price. Not too shabby. Listing success rate, which could be a bit confusing. Let me give you the numbers and then I'll give you an explanation in my humble yet professional opinion. Last month, the listing success rate was just under 79%. The month prior, just over 80%. So the last couple months, the listing success rate has been about the same. However, last year, it was just over 69%. My explanation of what the listing success rate is from a real estate professional: when a property gets listed for sale, what is the percentage of it going under contract and eventually being sold? Currently, we're about 80%. There really isn't a one-size-fits-all when it comes to real estate. For example,
When we say it's a good time to buy, it usually is. That statement doesn't hold true for everybody, just like when we say it's a good time to sell. That statement also doesn't fit everybody. And then you have buyers that are also sellers. You have to make sure you dial in the game plan that best fits them.
this real estate statistic might be one of my favorites: month's supply of inventory. It gives me a good feeling about where the market is going. We now know where it's been and where it is, but both buyers and sellers alike truly dial in on inventory. It helps them get a gauge of time frames and expectations of selling or purchasing, or sometimes both. Last month, just under 2 months of inventory. The month prior, just over 2 months. And last year, just over 3 months. Actually, about 3.5 months. So what we're seeing now is less inventory than more. I usually say in the market updates, between 2 and 4 months is a healthy inventory, so 3 months. So when we're under that 2 months, and we currently are just under it, that's when we start paying attention to, is it a good time for sellers to put their home on the market? And would it be a good time for buyers to purchase, knowing that pickings could be slim? That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just cautionary that the market isn't even keel buyers to sellers. Last, but certainly not least, ADOM, average days on market. Last month, 57 days. The month prior, 59 days. I hope you're seeing the pattern between last month and the previous month. Many of the real estate statistics are about the same, keeping the market at an even keel. Last year, however, the average days on market was 40 days. Homes weren't lasting on the market quite as long. Why, you ask? My answer: interest rates. When they have almost doubled, buyers are being much more selective with the little inventory that's out there before they pull the trigger.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you watch this one. Until next time, please take care. God bless America. I'll talk to you soon.